What is going on, everyone in YouTube world? I hope you are doing well. As always, we appreciate everyone who watches. We appreciate those who have been following along. We're just a small little channel here, but we have a lot of fun doing it. So we appreciate everyone. As always, as I think all of us have to say, like, subscribe, comment. It does help. It does help push the channel. At least it makes us feel good. I mean, when you only have 30 people watch, you have 10 comments, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm going to do a quick video for those of you who have not submitted, and even if you have submitted, I may show you a couple tricks. I was super nervous this year. It was the first time I submitted. First time I watched a bunch of videos, and I was hoping that I could help out a little bit. Our first submission, we ended up getting a 55% gem rate. The next one I was super scared about, and we got an 80%, like 82 or something. So we did really well. So I'm going to show you a couple tips that I've learned and kind of how I do it. And then, of course, there's a million different ways to do this. Everyone's different, but I'll at least show you what I do. I'm kind of a stickler about what I send in. I think most people probably gamble a little bit more than me, but because we rip so much, a lot of these cards, like let's say a Sam Laporta, this card is only worth a couple bucks for all. If I get a 10, it may be worth 25, 30. So I gain $9, maybe 10, but those add up if I can do it correctly. But if I get 9s, they crush us, right? So I just lose money even more. So I'm a bit of a stickler, but I'm going to show you what I do first. So I will show you what I do, and then I'll run through this. I'll fast forward through it so you guys don't have to bear with me here, and then we'll just keep going along, and I'm going to hopefully do this whole thing so that people feel comfortable doing it. So this is how we start. I've picked out a bunch of cards that I think that looked somewhat centered, that I think could add value to the card. And then this is my first step, is to just pull this bad boy out. Look at the centering. These prism cards are a lot easier because you can count, right? So I can come up here and I can count the dots here. I can count the dots down here, and then I can look. This card looks really centered. So I don't use a tool, I just look by eye. It may be just like 5% off left to right, but up to down it looks really good. So that tells me that this card will go in my pile to do the next phase. The next phase is going to be check corners, check surface. So I'm going to quickly go through a bunch of these. I'll start with just the prisms because I haven't done a Donruss yet, an optic, but I've got a bunch in there that I got to go through. So I'll do that quick. I'll fast forward for you so you don't have to sit here for 40 minutes as I just go through these. And then, yeah, we'll go on to the next step. All right, hang tight. I had some beautiful music right here to just help serenade you through this section. But this is exactly why I had to take down the video earlier. It was copyrighted. It's a music I use all the time, so unfortunately you're not going to have music for this section, but you can always fast forward a little bit to the next. All right, so here we are. Yeah, a lot of the optic was a no-go for me. They were really uneven. So this is my next phase here. I've got my maybes that are under the 100, like where I'm not super comfortable with the centering, but it's close. Here's the nose. So I'm going to take these out here. And then we've got just this stack here. So I'm going to go through and kind of show you what I do next. I'm going to start with these. To look at the surfaces, corners, clean them up, and then we'll make a determination on whether or not it's worth if we get a 9. The problem with this is if you have any issues at all, that's where your 8s and 7s come from. Because you may miss something and all of a sudden it's a 7 and it's just a waste of time. An 8 in most of these cards are going to be a waste of time as well. None of these are massive, massive cards. So that's kind of where I stand. I go through these, and if they aren't pristine on every single level, there's no way I send these in. So I'm going to show you a little bit of some techniques here. I'm going to get set up, and then I'm going to show you some techniques to go through here, clean these up and make them look good. All right, hold on. All right, so I do have Kurt's Care, if you're familiar, but I don't really use it. I've used it a couple times. It's never affected the cards. So I'm going to kind of show you what I do and how I clean stuff up. Pretty basic. I mean, everyone's got their way of doing it. So I'll look at the corners first. Like, these corners look pretty good here. We'll look at the back. Back's a little off-centered too, so this tells me this is my maybe pile. This tells me there's just no way on this, as much as I'd love to get this sent in. I mean, the back is as off-centered as the top, so I feel like this will be a 9 for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together. Get this back in the top loader. Still a beautiful card. I mean, someone else may risk it, which is cool. I think you should. I mean, it's a beautiful card. I think if I told someone, I mean, it's right on the cusp there. The CJ I want bad to work out, but I mean, the corners look beautiful. The back's a little off as well, but so is the front. I mean, it's not too bad. I'm just not sure. There's this weird like print line in there. You see that? You can kind of, I don't know if you can see it. There, right there. I was looking through the other cards to see. I've seen a couple of those through some of these other purple shocks to see if that's a regular thing or not. But I'm not, like, you see, this one has one here too. So I'm not sure if that's just something that's in everything of these purple shocks, because that's going to really throw off whether or not I send them. If some of these don't have it, I mean, this one has just a massive print line through it. So let me see another one, see if we, I mean, because these are the things you got to look out for that they'll ding you on. Yeah, see, this one has one here too. So I don't know if they just all have it or what, which means I'm going to hold off until I see a couple 10s online to see if I can find out if they have it or not. So that tells me that all of these right now are a no-go for me, which is unfortunate. I'm not even going to mess around with trying to clean them up or look at them. So let me put these aside quick. Let me get this CJ back in here. Yeah, so I just don't know about these optics, whether or not they're going to let that slide or not. I think I got to check and see. But those are the things I look for to make sure that I'm getting a high percentage back. I don't know that this is worth enough to really give it a go here. I mean, the corners look beautiful. I may try it. I always look in the light to see if there's any dimples in the corners there, because they'll get you for that. I've had a couple get me that I thought looked beautiful. So I'll clean this up quick. So what I do here, I mean, just basic, right? I'm just using just a no-lint cloth. A lot of people go the same way, but I mean, and then the other thing you'll see here, that this one actually isn't too bad, so I'll probably leave it. But yeah, like, I look just to see if there's anything on there that shouldn't be. This is a pretty good looking card. This is going to go in my pile that I think I'm going to send in. So what I'll do is I'll put it just like I'm going to send it out. I'll get it in here, and then I'll kind of go through the comps to see if I do get a 9, how bad is it going to be. But let me show you, let me see if any of these, I want to show you guys a cool little trick here. There's not as much on this one. Let me see one that has a little bit more on it. I'm looking for some gummies on the side to show you what you can do to really help it out. I call them like little boogers, but I'll show you what you can do. This actually cleans up a lot of stuff. Let's see here. You'll see a bunch of stuff around the top here that's not so nice. See that? If you just use a little bit of blue tape, Look how much that just got off. See that? So that's going to clean up that card beautifully. And a lot of times your corners that you're concerned about, you know, like those little white corners you have, what will end up happening is this will clean those corners up that you're concerned about. You know, you're over here touching it. You don't need to. You just use a little bit of this. Get it through there. There you go. I mean, I don't see any other flaws in this card. I'm not seeing anything glaring here that makes me think I need to, well, is that part of the card? What is that? It's hard to see. You'll see this weird, see that little line right there. I don't know if that's part of the card or not. I got another variation. So what I always do too is if I have another card, I'll test it against that other card. I have that Roshan in here, that Roshan variation right here, to see if that's in the same spot. And if you look, there's nothing there. See that? There's nothing in that one. So that tells me that it's already a little off center, as much as I want it, because it really adds, like, the price of this card goes up a ton if I can get a 10 on it. A 9 doesn't. But, you know, I mean, again, someone could easily send this in and get that. I just, for me, I try to keep my numbers high. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside, get this back in a top loader, and I'll let someone else either just love it as is or try. I mean, it's a beautiful card. I should get it in a one touch, but I'm just going to throw it in the top loader for now. Yeah, so that little trick does a lot. So just so you know, that blue tape around the edges and then cleaning, I also clean the fronts and the backs. And then what I also do is, you'll notice, like I said, just make sure you look at the back. A lot of times my cards that have come back at weird grades that just aren't high enough for me, that I'm surprised by, is because I missed something in the back, or I missed something by the rookie symbol. So that's how I go about it. And then after, like I said, after I go through, and maybe I'll go through and show you what I have, I'll kind of go through the comps and see, hey, if I get a 9, how bad is it going to be? I tend to gamble a little bit more, not because I feel like I do a good job of not sending in a bunch of crap. So I tend to say, even if I get a 9 and I lose money, sometimes I just say I'm going for it if I think the card's beautiful, because for me, like I said, I'm not buying cards and then reselling them. These aren't super high value cards where if you get a 9, you're going to be okay. Like if I get a 9 on this is, I mean, that's a dud cannon for me. I mean, you're just losing money left and right, that happens. So I'm going to go through all these. I probably will just skip to them being right here. Like I said, if you have any questions about cleaning and what I've done with Kurt's cards is Kurt's care, and also any other tricks I have, feel free to write, because yeah, I want people to start feeling comfortable doing it. Like I said, I was scared. I still get nervous every time I do it, right? I mean, this could be $1,000 submission. But if you look, I mean, half my cards, if not more, by the time I get through this, there may only be 25, 26 left. I mean, I really vet them hard, because I don't want 8s and 9s. I want 10s, period. So I'll be back in just a second. Hold on. I wanted to quickly show you this. Like, this corner looks, you can't tell if the corner, hold on, let's see if it'll zoom in. You can't tell if that corner is bad or not. And that's where that blue tape comes in. So let me show you again on these corners, because this blue tape is huge. It will help a lot of you if you're not currently doing it. I'm sure a lot of people are, but so I'll just go around the sides here. You'll see all that stuff, all that. There's just a bunch of it on there. And what happens is, like, look at that. That's all on one card. So look how clean that makes that card. And there's a little bit more I can get right here. Cleans it up, but it's mainly this corner that I was like, okay, is this corner good or bad? You see that? So we'll find out right now. I would say that is a good corner that just had some gunk on it. I mean, like, it may be a tad bit, but when you look at it, I mean, that's a, I don't know how you're going to get much more of a clean corner than that. Same with this one. This one pops out just a hair, so we'll see. That one may just be the way it is. You can kind of see it sticks out a little bit, but we'll see if we can't get some of that stuff off there. You know, it kind of comes out a little bit. It's hard to tell with that one. Like I said, that, I mean, that's, looks like it's cut a little bit, like concave there. But if you actually look at the corner, I mean, it doesn't look like that bad of a corner. So maybe a little bit off there, but man, it's not that bad of a corner. I think overall that card looks pretty good. I'd probably submit this one. So yeah, just wanted to show you that on the corner so you guys knew what I was talking about. So here's another thing I look for. Look at that little spot there. You'll see just, bam, right by the San Francisco. Right, let's see if I can get it. Come on. Can you see it there? No. There's just a tiny little mark there. I don't know if they'll ding for that or not. It's not an indentation. It's just like a little hairline, just a tiny. So I don't know. I mean, I may send this in and see what it gets. See if that little bit gives it a 9. But yeah, normally I would not send that in. I don't think this card's worth enough. But maybe we'll test it out. See what they say, just so we have an idea, and for the viewers here, if that's going to be something that, I mean, it is so small there. But I wouldn't be surprised if they gave that a 9 just because of that, even though the corners and everything else look good. So just wanted to show you that as well. The other thing is here, you'll see this little dimple right here, a little pinprick there. I haven't really gotten away. I've gotten away with one of those on one of my cards. This is on the back, so I don't know what they would say. The front is beautiful. So this here again is another one that I'm gonna have to put in the possible 9 pile. So I make 2 piles, even so I just continue to make separate piles. One of do I want to send it in, and the other one's 100%. I mean, this is such a beautiful card. It'd be sad if they gave it for that. But there is, I mean, there is a little surface imperfection right there. So that's where you get your dings. That's where you get your 8s out of nowhere. So I would hate for this to be a 9, so I'll have to look at comps to see if it makes sense. But just wanted to show you that as well. Another detail you got to look for because they'll ding you on that. All right, showing you another little detail. These are just things just so you see that there. Beautiful card, a little bit on the back. There's also a hair bit of scratching. It looks like down in this corner, just looks, see that? These are things I don't send in. I think a lot of people would. I mean, it's a beautiful card. I don't send those in. So maybe I'm crazy and that's why I'm getting 80% on the last one. But just wanted to, again, show you some of those little tiny details that you may not think is going to make a difference. But, you know, I think it may. And again, right there, see those? Not okay. So again, just showing you a couple little details as I go through cleaning these. Cool. Sad. Didn't notice it even the first time. That's why I go through them 2 or 3 times. See that big print line right across the top? Got to watch out for those too in weird spots. Here's the last little thing. So I've got my stack of 10s, or well, what I hope are 10s. I know that these are really hard cards to get 10s on, so we'll kind of see how that goes. And then these are my stack of 9s that I expect to get 9s, but I have a chance. These have little surface area flaws, very tiny, that are on the front that may cause it. So this card's definitely not worth sending in. If it gets a 9, it's worth pretty much nothing. So I'm going to skip that. These 2 I'm going to send in because I think even with a 9, they'll probably be worth 20-25 bucks still. I think. So I may risk those. So I won't even, like cards like this that I expect to get a 9, I don't really go against my gem rate just because I expect them to get 9s. But I still think the value is there. Now these are my hard ones right now, and I wanted to show you this because I think it's important that you know. Like I may gamble on 1 or 2 of these, but I'm going to try to show you how hard some of these things are that you've really got to look for. There is a very light scratch. Let me see see that right there. That light hits it just right. You can see it right there. This card is going to be, I think I have a better chance of getting away with this one than I do other ones because you don't notice that at all, even when you do this. But under a microscope, which they're gonna have, they're gonna notice it. So I've got to decide if this is worth a 9 or not. The My House has it too. So this is the last thing. You're gonna see a light. Let's see if I can show you. I just want you to see because it's important for those of you who are first sending stuff in. You're gonna see a little scratch right there, right down that line right there. Look at it. That scratch. PSA is very strict about surface. As much as I wanted this card to go in, and you know, it may have a 40% chance of still passing. I think the Bijan probably has a 50-50 chance just because they also go by the look of the card and the appeal. And I don't think you'd ever notice that if you were just looking at this card, that scratch. It's very, I tried to clean it out, tried to wax it a little bit, but you'll see it right there. I just don't know. It's super noticeable once you see it. So I got to decide if a 9 is okay on this. So that's my last go bout. So I think I had like 80 cards maybe, and I think the only amount I'm sending in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Only 17 out of about 80 cards I'm going to be sending in. So that's why if I get 9s on these or an 8 or a 7, I'm going to be extremely upset. Maybe not with these because I just don't know what to expect with these. I may wait on those as well. But anything else, not a 9, not a 10 for me, I get a little upset because I do work hard to try to make sure that I have a good gem rate on these. So for those of you, you know, it's a longer video, but I wanted to really show you kind of what I go through and look at so that you're not worried and you have a little, you know, you can do the same thing. This isn't rocket science, right? You can go through, you can look, and you can, you know, have a good success rate on your first time. So I was just trying to share some of my knowledge. Not that it's something special, but you know, I was super nervous and still get nervous every time I send it in, but I feel a little bit better because of how much I look at the cards. So again, we appreciate it. Thanks for all the new followers we have. Thanks for everything, for the support. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you have about any processes that I do or anything at all. We'd love to help out and, you know, give back any way we can and hopefully help people not be scared to send in like we were. So again, we appreciate it. As always, friends, happy ripping. Like, subscribe, comment, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Have a great night.